Hi, I'm back so soon. Um, okay, so starting with Tuesday the 16th, we went to the Rock of Cashel, and that was actually in Cashel, and it was like an old castle ruined cathedral. Really not sure the significance of it. We just walked around. It was pretty cool. There was a ton of rocks. There's a whole rock wall, and we walked around, had a tour. They're actually doing a lot of restoration on it. It did have some of the old like ceiling cathedral style paintings, and they're trying to restore that because it's crumbling and losing a lot, a lot through the weather and stuff, especially with this damp climate that they have. Which actually, weather has been amazing. It has not rained in probably 2 weeks, and I am absolutely loving it. And everybody else here I think it's gotten used to the heat now, so they're actually kind of liking it. Everybody I've talked to is kind of like, oh, great weather. Y'all brought good weather with you. So we sent y'all the rain, which I hear you're still having, and we brought the sunshine. Hopefully we'll bring it back with us because I do not want rain. I don't like it. I like sunny, warm, hot weather for summer. But after we left the Rock of Cashel, we rode over to Clonell and we just shopped around. We had lunch there. We actually had packed our lunch. So we just had some sandwiches and chips and yogurt and ate that and then walked around and shopped. So that was nice. It kind of felt like a wasted day just because we weren't doing much, but I guess it was nice to see another city and get to explore and walk around. We're definitely running out of time fast. A week from now I'll be home, so yeah, it's definitely on the ending leg of the trip. But we did that Tuesday, and then we came back and did some more homework. Actually, I took a really like 2 hour long nap when I got back, and our internet was kind of on the fritz that night, so I was able to get on and do a little bit of homework, and then went to sleep and got up Wednesday, and Wednesday is our long day. So once again, we had breakfast, then class, then lunch, then class. We had 30-minute break until our culture class, and last night the culture class was definitely the best one that we've had yet. We had it in the dome, which is kind of like a pubish style setup that they have on campus. And so we just walked over to it. They do have like a bar to the side, and then they have the center area. It's kind of set up like a lounge with different chairs and booths and stuff. And they have a projector. They can show movies in there and stuff for their students. But several of the people that have been serving us in the cafeteria for breakfast and lunch play music. So they played us some Irish music. They did a lot of the popular tunes. We did Molly Malone. We did Galway Girl. We did Tell Me Ma. Um, Lismore. We did all just different ones, and then they played those, and then we actually had some people like get up from our group that had brought instruments like guitars and fiddle, and Alex played the fiddle, did us a tune, and Sam and Matt played the guitars. We did Wagon Wheel, so that was really exciting. But we were actually, they were played a couple songs the Irish people did, and then she's like, okay, we're gonna play a reel and just kind of have some traditional Irish music. And Chris turns around and goes, Lauren, why don't you get up and dance? And everybody's like, yeah, Lauren, dance, dance. Keep in mind, there's like 60 people in our group, plus we have the professor, some of their families, plus the Irish people there. There were probably like 70 people there, and I was like, let's don't. That's kind of embarrassing to put me on the spot, and I haven't danced in forever. I miss it a lot, but I'm obviously extremely rusty and forgot a good portion of it. So then Linda Mullen, which is my business professor, she is actually a professor at Southern as well. She gets up from across the room and walks over and goes, "You get up and dance right now. I give you an A in the class." And everybody's like, "Oh, you gotta do it now." And I was like, "Oh my gosh!" So very reluctantly and hesitantly, with a lot of peer pressure, I got up and did a quick little reel um, in front of like 70 people. But I don't know, it's kind of exciting, I guess. So definitely got called out, and I enjoyed it. I mean, I do miss dance a lot. I wish I had could remember more of it than I do. But after that, we went over to the cafeteria and we had dinner, and then we just hung out outside. It was beautiful weather, and the sun had just gone below the tree, so it was still light outside. My favorite time, like dusk, I guess. But it wasn't hot, and there were guys in Lawson and Natalie were throwing the frisbee, and I was just kind of brought my laptop out there and was playing music and stuff. And then a big group of people went to go see Monster University downtown at the movies. So then me, Lawson, and Ben and Sarah just threw the frisbee for a while. So I had a lot of fun just hanging out with everybody. And then we came in and went to sleep. morning, and we drove up to Dublin. It was a 2 hour drive up there on the bus, so we've done a lot of bus travel, um, but it's been nice to get to see as many places as we have. So we went up to Dublin, and today's field trip was incredible. It was with Professor Mullen, the business professor, and our first stop was Croke Park, which is the equivalent to like a Georgia Dome, like it's a huge dome. But that's where all of the Irish football and the Irish hurling are played. Um, as long as it's not like county to county, or all the bigger games are played there. So it's not specifically like one person's arena, but it's kind of on a national scale. But it's in Dublin, and it's ran by the GAA, which is the Gaelic Athletic Association. So we got a tour of that, which was incredible. We got to walk down on the field. We got to take a bunch of pictures. We got to go in the box seats that you can, like the sky box seats that you can rent. And we saw the locker rooms. We saw there's like a pub that they have downstairs. It's like an after party room for both teams. They're always invited. And they've got these huge chandeliers. Or there's one huge chandelier in the center. They got mirrors all around, so it makes it look, bigger than it is. But it has these silver strings coming down, and then all these balls on it, and they're crystal, Waterford crystal, of course, balls. And there are 70 little hurling balls, squillers, I don't know, there's something like that. That's what the ball's called. There's 70 of those, which represent the 70 minutes that are in a hurling game. And then there are 32 Irish footballs, which kind of look like volleyballs. And there are 32 of those to represent the 32 counties in Ireland. So that was really cool and really nice. It was kind of crazy to me that they have both teams, like both teams are invited. They don't always oblige, because if it's been a really tough game or they've lost really bad, then sometimes the other team just wants to get out of there and go home. But both teams are always invited, and the guy kind of explained it to us like these people, they have day jobs, they have families, they're the doctors, the teachers, whoever in the town, so they pretty much go to play the game because they love it, but they leave everything on the field, and then they're able to go after the game and hang out together and socialize and fellowship, which is really cool because that's definitely, not how it is. We have like a lot of big rivals and stuff, so I think there's pros and cons to both. It's kind of nice to have like your team and, but then again, I guess it is nice to be able to integrate so casually with the other team. But we got to see that, locker rooms, all sorts of areas of the arena. And then we had to go and have a meeting with the Dublin Port Authority, which was really cool because all the ports, especially like in Savannah, all of our big ports are very restricted. But we got to go, and they had lunch provided for us. So we had sandwiches and soups and soda and coffee and tea. I like that they serve coffee and tea with all their meals. That's really classy and cool. But we ate lunch, and then we went up to like the executive board room kind of area. It's got this long wooden table and all these nice office chairs on rolling areas. And we talked with the communications manager, and he told us all about the port and the things that they're doing, what they're successful at, what they've had to redo in Banff. And their ports aren't regulated by the government at all. They're independent ports, so they really are on their own to make sure they're successful and that they get a lot of business. But they really had it down to a science, and from everything he told us, they're extremely successful. I mean, they've done several projects in shorter times than expected. So, I mean, he said that one of the latest projects was predicted to have it paid off in 5 years, and it's been so successful and brought so much business that they've actually paid it off in 2. So, just different business techniques like that were really cool to talk to him about and like hear him express to us, and to hear that a lot of imports that we get into Savannah's port is exported from Dublin. So that was really cool. And then he lifted up the screens on the windows, and like the whole one side of the building was windows, and you could see the entire port. So it was really cool. Took a lot of pictures for Dad since he's into logistics. But that was exciting to talk about. And then we left and went back to Croke Park. We had a meeting with a lady there who was the marketing director, and after talking to her, like, I want her job except for in the States. She does all the different events that are hosted at the big stadium that they have there. They do concerts, they do weddings, they do promotional events, conferences. They're actually hosting something called the Croke Park Classic next year, and that is where two U.S. football teams are coming to play. A few years ago, they did the Notre Dame Navy game, which turned out to be incredibly successful. There were 32. I'm starting to talk like Irish people. 32,000 guests, international guests come. The city of Dublin itself only like sleeps 20,000 people, like when it comes to rooms to rent, like beds to rent. So she said it was incredibly successful. That's the most in history ever of international people going anywhere. I mean, that's more than the Olympics generate. That's more than the World Cup generates. So they hosted that there, and then they're doing one next year, and it's going to be Penn State and UCF, which I'm guessing is University of Central Florida. That doesn't seem like a big enough school. I mean, that's smaller than Southern, I'm pretty sure. That's kind of weird to think of them having international game, but maybe it was a different UCF. I don't know. Either way, her job sounded incredible. She was a little rushed because she had to get on a conference call with people from the States, and even though it was morning for y'all, it was like 4:30 her time. But it was really cool to talk to her and ask her some questions, and I feel like a lot of stuff I learned today and got to talk to will really like build my resume, being able to say that I talked to the communications manager for the Dublin port and the marketing director of Croke Park. Like, that's just really cool. That's part of the reason that this study abroad will definitely like build my resume a lot. So that was really cool. And then we rushed back to the bus like always and rode 2 hours back to Waterford, and then we went to the Waterford versus Manchester United soccer game. Not a huge soccer fan, but Lawson and Sarah played. Lawson played a ton all through high school and when she was little, and really loved soccer, so we went and saw them play, and it was actually really exciting. Between Croke Park and the Manchester and Waterford game and the hurling game last week, I definitely am so stoked for some Georgia Southern and Alabama football in the fall. All the sports over here are really cool and different, but they're definitely not good old Southern football, so I'm excited for that. But now it is almost 2 a.m. and I'm going to sleep and getting up in the morning, and we're going back to Kilkenny. We really didn't get to explore the town or do any of the shopping or eating or enjoy the music. There's a huge castle there, and we actually have like a heritage card that we got. We get in free to that. There's a design center, which is almost like the Mart in Atlanta, where different vendors come and different crafters come and set up different venues, or not venues, different little stations, and then you can get to go through all of them. So we're really excited to go back to Kilkenny. It's only a 30-minute ride, so we're going to ride up there in the morning, me and Sarah and Lawson and Natalie. We're going to shop all day and eat and look around. And we decided to just stay in Waterford and do day trips for the weekend, save money. We really couldn't think of anything else that we wanted to spend a whole weekend on. We thought about Dingle, go to the Dingle Peninsula, and still really want to see that, but I think we're just going to wait and do that next trip. We were originally going to do Belfast as an entire group this weekend, but with it being marching season and being hard to get a hotel up there, it's just really not a good time for a huge group to go. There's been a couple things during the riots that have kind of made it not as safe, so we decided not to do that. But we're going to go to Kilkenny tomorrow, and then Saturday we're probably just going to hang out and do some projects and homework. We got finals next week. And then after we do that on Saturday, we're going to get up Sunday and go paddleboarding and kayaking in Dunmore East. So I'm praying that it's really hot outside, because that water is going to be ice cold, the Atlantic Bay. But I think we have wetsuits, so that'll be kind of interesting. But anyway, hope everybody's doing great back home, and I will see y'all in a week. But I'll make sure I update before then. But hope everybody's doing great, and special shout out to Brother Lance, whose birthday is tomorrow. Technically it's already your birthday, but love you, and I hope you're all doing well back home. Talk to you later. Bye.